So obviously you've had a nice, long, great career, which I'm very happy for you for.
So you're basically saying I'm old, yeah?
No, I'm definitely not saying that. You've had a good career, long, and you're experienced and you're young. Yes, my peoples, it's Chunkz and I'm here in Sweden, joined by the legend Seb Larsson. I'm here with AIK. The weather's ridiculous, so we're going to have to hurry this one up, I'll be very honest. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe and click that bell so you're notified when we upload. I'm going to delve into your life, brother. I hope that's well. How you doing, by the way? So rude of me.
Yeah, I'm same as you, cold.
Yeah.
It's very
Fair
cold.
enough,
Might look warm, but it's cold.
Yeah, I know, right? That's what they're going to see the sun and think,
Yeah.
No, it's cold. We're going to delve straight into it. Where did football start for you?
Football started back in my hometown. It's called Eskilstuna. Basically, when I was born into a football family. Dad was a coach, ex-player. Brother played football as well. He's 3 years older, and you know, my mom just had to deal with it, I guess.
Yeah, fair enough, fair enough. So, in terms of teams, like, what was the? How old were you when you saw you actually getting scouted from team, and you're like, you know what, I'm actually good at this?
I guess when you got to about 13, 14, that's when people, you went on little camps, you got invited to camps in and around when I think I was 13 when I first came and trained with AIK for the first time. And that was obviously very cool, you know, you got to go to a professional team. And so somewhere around 13, 14, I guess, when you started realizing that maybe you got a shot at doing this. So
compared to like the new gen, or that's what they're calling nowadays, like I'll speak to them and they'll be like, they've been picked up from 5 years old, 6, and I'm just like, what are you doing from 5? Like, you know what I mean? But obviously with you, 13, was that like a norm for your time?
Yeah, I think that was still fairly early for my time, you know, and for people being 15, 16 without being noticed and still being talented, that wasn't uncommon. So yeah, today it's just crazy when kids are getting picked up.
Yeah, exactly. That just shows you guys, don't give up on your dream. If you're 15, 16, you think, you know what, it's too late. It's not. Living proof. So obviously you've had a nice, long, great career, which I'm very happy for you for.
So you're basically saying I'm old, yeah?
No, I'm definitely not saying that. You've had a good career, long, and you're experienced and you're young. Don't know how that all makes sense. It's all an oxymoron, but you know what? We'll move on. I'm not saying you're old. Tell me, how did it start for you in the Premier League? Because I think, was it Arsenal first?
Arsenal first, yeah.
04 was it?
Yeah, I moved to Arsenal in 2001.
Okay.
I just turned 16 and moved over to the academy. So that's when it all started, yeah.
So how did that come about then? Because
well, basically, I was scouted along with a couple of other Swedish guys who were playing for the Swedish under-15 team in a tournament. Just got invited over to come and train with the academy. And listen, when I went, it was just awesome to go and see. I had no other thoughts about moving there or trying to win a contract or anything. So when the phone rang and they offered me a deal, that was pretty cool, yeah.
So Premier League life, what was the difference between the Premier League and what you were used to before? Because a lot of people say it's the best league in the world, and there has to be a reason for it.
Yeah, for me, without a doubt. And that was also, listen, I had 2 big dreams when I was a kid. The first one was to play for my country, to represent Sweden at some stage, and then the Premier League. That was the football I followed. But still, when I got there at 16, I was still academy player. It was a long way to go before you could actually play in the Premier League, but it was a big dream of mine, yeah.
So some records off the top of my head, let me just find, yeah, there you go. You're actually 7th in the most free kicks scored in the Premier League, and you haven't been there for 9 years, which for me is ridiculous. It doesn't make sense. So. What made you different when it came to the free kicks? Were you training them more? Like, what were you doing, watching my videos? Like, what made you better?
Exactly. I just picked it up from you. That's all you need to do. Watch your videos. And
we're actually going to do a free kick challenge after this, so keep your eyes peeled. But all jokes aside, like, what were you doing differently?
I don't know what I was doing differently. Listen, I remember I always loved it from a very young age. A lot of kids wanted to take each other on, dribble one-on-one and do that kind of thing. I always loved hitting free kicks, long passes, that type of thing. And then for me, Beckham, you know, when I first started seeing him on the big scene and the way he could hit free kicks, and you know, it just caught my eye, and I wanted to try and become good at it and practice a lot from a young age.
Okay. So obviously you mentioned Beckham there. Growing up, did you have any other idols? Maybe any Swedish players or?
Yeah,
you've had some great plays.
Yeah, we've had a few decent ones. Yeah, no, listen, the World Cup '94. People in Sweden will remember that for a long time. Sweden came third, and that's the first major championship that I remember watching as a kid. And from then on, obviously, that whole team were idols of mine. Yeah, you want it to be like them?
Of course, 100%. So obviously, you mentioned like it going through good teams like '94. Obviously, the teams I remember is when Henrik Larsson and Ibrahimovic were playing. What was it like playing alongside names like that? Like, that must have been crazy.
Yeah, of course. Listen, the first time you stepped into the dressing room and you saw Ibrahimovic or Larsson there, of course you've got that massive respect, and that also in a way was a dream come true to share the pitch with them, you know. But I guess as anything, once you do it a few times, you kind of let go of that.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, the novelty wears off, basically.
Yeah,
100%.
Thinking back of it as well.
Yeah,
very cool.
exactly. But I think for us looking in, it's kind of just like, oh my God, look at these big names. And for the people in the team, it's kind of like, yeah, it's my teammate. You know what I mean? So, but obviously, it's that first initial maybe reaction, which is kind of like,
yeah,
remember, yeah.
You know, you're not very cocky when you first meet them.
Yeah,
you kind of take
definitely
a step back and listen.
No, not with Zlatan especially. Fair enough. So, push that aside many years later, not too many years because you're not old, like I said. Back at AIK, how does it feel like being back, and what's the fan culture like? Because I've heard some crazy stories already. So.
Yeah, listen, fan culture is amazing over here. I've said it many times. A lot of people say it. That's kind of what makes the Swedish league. You know, it's some of the games, especially the derby games we've had at home. We get sort of 45, 50,000, and the culture is amazing. The way the team supports you, and especially in AIK. So it's been perfect ever since I moved back home. I felt at home as soon as I started playing for AIK, and the fans have been brilliant.
So yeah, I heard off camera that there was a bit of flares and fireworks going off at training. That doesn't make sense to me. Well, can you actually make it make sense, please?
Listen, it's something the fans have started here. So each pre-season, the first day we start back, we have a evening training. And the stands are full, 4,000 or 5,000 people here. And as we enter the pitch, they set up fireworks, and it goes on for about 20 minutes. They all stand with flares, singing, and just listen, basically welcome us back for a new season. And it's, you have to watch it, but it's very cool.
Yeah, that's mad. Oh wow. That's the thing with you guys, the culture. Like, it's just like, so it's welcomed. Because with us, you can't sneak a flare into a stadium, never. You know what I mean? If that happened, I think everyone would be arrested on the spot. Whereas here, it's kind of like, it shows good intentions. Of course, people are here to just welcome you guys back. And
yeah, and I think the culture is different. Obviously, I know when I was in England, you never saw any fans around the training ground, but here you're a lot closer with them. So.
Yeah, I feel like it's a better environment, to be honest, to invite the fans and make them feel like they're part of the team.
It's nice when you get that connection, and obviously you get to hear the odd negative word as well. But listen, you deal with
that.
Happens.
Yeah, you've been playing football. You know how this how this works now. You know what I mean? All right. So as I can see right now, you're wearing a tracksuit. Incredible. I do like it. I've requested for one, and I've been told I'm getting mine.
Cool.
It's an escrow. But in terms of kits, when it comes to kits, you have a great tradition of a rich tradition of having great kits. Anything to say? Because I think you're wearing one underneath right there.
I've got one on, so
yeah, there we go. Look at that.
Let's see it.
Look at that. I like it a lot, man.
Because
usually we have the sponsors here, but they have the actual team name on the chest.
Yeah, it's very cool.
Yeah. So in terms of the shirts, which one's your favourite? Do you remember off the top of your head?
Well, there's been that many now. They've got this tradition of pulling out great shirts. So I like this one, but they've all been pretty decent.
There you go. So I think you're gonna wear these for only a couple of games, maybe 3 or 4 games.
That's right. Yeah.
That's wild. How are you just changing kits like that? Incredible. Love it. All right, so we spoke about on the pitch, off the pitch. What do you like to do? What's your hobbies? What do you see yourself doing after you finish your career, which could be in 10 years' time because you're still young?
Well, who knows? No, listen, my life off the pitch is very quiet. A lot of time with the family, my 2 kids, my wife, downtime. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I've started doing a bit of TV work with the Premier League over here in Sweden, which I enjoy, that close connection, so maybe that's something to step up once I retire.
Because I feel like it's either 2 routes usually, which is the punditry route or the coaching route? So would you look? As you look at the no
coaching for me, not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Not at the moment.
You should never say no.
Yeah,
but
never say never. Don't rule it out right now. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I reckon you could be a free kick coach because we've seen what you could do with them.
Well, you've nailed that already, so.
We'll see. We'll be seeing. All right, well, thank you so much for us, Seb. Appreciate it. Honestly, it's been a pleasure. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe, and click that bell so you're notified when we upload. It's absolutely freezing. Take care.